What's up, everybody? Welcome into Tom Curran's Patriots Talk podcast. We got a good one today. Julian Edelman. And get right to it. Let's get right to it.
You can't come to California and not catch up with the original California kid. It's Julian Edelman.
I'm the number two.
Well,
number two.
But still, it's a good number two. It's number two with a bullet.
It's a good two. We'll take a two to behind that guy.
So I'm sitting outside waiting to come in to talk to you. And then I'm thinking to myself, it's 5 years? 5 years since Atlanta. It's 5 years since, like, this weekend. I don't know if it matches up date-wise, but you were a very good NFL player at that juncture. And then you went into that Super Bowl. And what happened in the second half of that game, your life from the time the second half of that game began to today has been insane.
Honestly, it's been insane since the first Super Bowl. Yeah, it's been a crazy journey, Tom. And when you're on the journey, you almost don't get enough time to really enjoy it because you're so focused, and especially with the guys I was around and being around Coach Belichick, Tom Brady's, and all these elite competitors, it was always tough. Like, they didn't really celebrate what we did, so then naturally it trickles down. You don't celebrate because next year is coming on now, and you're already preparing mentally for the next thing. It was always funny. Whenever we would win a Super Bowl, all my friends would get mad at me because they said I get the Super Bowl saddies because you hit such a pinnacle. You get to the very, very high, and then all of a sudden it goes down, and then you look and you're like, now I got to go be better this year. Now I got to go work harder. Now I got to reinvent myself, bring something new to my game, and it's always, it's just,
and you're just looking up
it's a
at
roller
the
coaster.
Well, I try and equate it when I write and cover it is you guys push a rock up a mountain all season long, and you guys get to the peak a lot of times. Sometimes it rolls back over you, but then to look at the mountain the next year and say, we just rolled that thing all the way up, and now I have to do it again.
It's very tough, and we're seeing it with the Kansas City Chiefs. Especially playing in an organization like the Patriots, they were, a blue check organization before I got there.
Yep.
When I got there, they were blue checked. You're getting everyone's best. You're a measuring stick team. Everyone's trying to knock you off. You're playing any team you play. It doesn't matter if they're 1-10 or 8-6 or whatever. You're going to get their best because they want to see
how good can we be?
How good can we be? And it makes that uphill push of that rock that much harder because even, there's life things that you have as being, just a human that, like, you have ups and downs, you have regular life stuff, you have family things, and then to try to go out and perform your best for 3 hours in 1 week, every week, it's tough. So we're seeing it with, like, the Chiefs now where they're starting to get the gist. They're the target. They're the target. Everyone wants to beat the Chiefs.
And it's failure if you don't.
And it's failure if you don't.
You're up 21-0. You piss away a chance inside the 5. You go in with bad momentum, and then the second half happens, and you're gaggers.
The game's a tricky game. It's a game of inches, and you always got to treat those football gods right.
You had some good success with them, but I wonder how it felt when there was no rock to push this year. Was there a mourning period for your football career that you went through?
I mean, yes, of course there was. There was definitely a mourning period, but then that rock became a different rock. I had a new transition into, like, doing TV and doing Inside the NFL. That streams on Paramount Plus, of course. So, like, the anxiety, like, my respect for everyone, all you guys that have been on TV, do the podcasts, coming up with stories has gone through the roof because, I've been introduced to that, and it's not like I had any prior experience. I mean,
you were good at it.
We do short form content, and a lot of it's edited.
But you got the concept.
Yeah.
Don't take yourself too seriously. Give shit that nobody else is giving.
Yeah.
The stuff that you and Asaf did with, Smoothie Time?
Yeah, Smoothie Time, Burger Time. Those were all fun. And I mean, that definitely got me comfortable and to be in front of a camera. But, I can remember my first day, first show, you go on there, you got, Phil Simms, he's been in this circuit years. Brandon Marshall, he's been in it for 5 to 8 years. You got Ray Lewis, Michael Irving, JB, who's just an ultimate, professional, and you don't want to go out there and, like, be the one guy that has to make everyone stop. And,
Right.
you know, you have that accountability. It's kind of like when you go out on a football field and, you know, you don't want to be the guy that doesn't know the play. You don't want to be the guy that doesn't know the formation when you're going in and learning the new things. So, you know, that rock just kind of transitioned. Now, of course, I missed the game and I missed that, you know, that competitive side in that.
Is there stuff in your body during the year that says you should be sore now, or you get a smell or something? I didn't even play football for a long time.
Yeah.
I get the smell of cut grass at the end of August when the sun's different, and I'm like, no, I kind of miss football. I feel like I should be at captain's practice. Does any of that hit you?
A little bit. It definitely did hit me when that dew smell. I liked it in the spring because the spring it was still a little cold and it'd be a little wet. So like that was like my body was going through crazy transitions of like, all right, we should be in organized team activities. We should be about a month out. You should be hitting like, and I wasn't doing it, but my body was feeling good. So I'm like, oh,
Don't sweat it, Jules.
I'm good. So you know, it's a double-edged sword. Of course, you miss it, and then you don't miss the grind.
Mental and physical?
More physical. Like
You were okay with it.
I mean, it was hard, and I'm miserable to be around it when I was competing in certain parts of my life with family and this, that, because I was so focused and so, you know, infatuated with the game and what we had to do. And, you know, I took the coaching in, what Bill would say, ignore the noise, put everything in a drawer and move on from it. But, you know, like, I don't miss, like, not being it. Like, last couple of years, it was tough to practice. And that's where you gain.
Like practice.
That's where you gain your confidence. I don't like to practice. I just like to practice good because then I can sleep at night. You know, because that's when you feel that all that's next is just going out and playing the game. You know what's going to happen. You have the muscle memory. You have the subconscious working because you studied so much film. You know, but it was the practicing that like once I couldn't get through a practice or I couldn't. You know, like it took me a lot to go out and do something that was so remedial, like when I was not hurting, that like I just can't do that because I don't want to look like an old guy. You know?
I get you, yeah.
I don't want to look like, and I was looking like an old guy.
No, you had 100 plus catches and 1,000 yards
Nah,
in your last year.
no,
Not in 19.
yeah,
Not in 20, excuse me.
20.
But you had 167 yards in a game, the second game of the season. The guy was still there. I got to ask you about this, though. Did Tom's retirement surprise you? Because it surprised me in that the dismount can be hard.
It didn't surprise me. You know, it was going to come sooner or later.
But he's still so friggin' good.
He's still good, but that's what he likes probably. He wants to be able to, you know, say, I can still do it, and I went out on my terms. And, you know, I personally, it gets tough on an athlete, you know, especially who's played for 23, 24 years. How many was he, 24?
22.
22? Regardless. That's tough, like, when you start having like, when you're a kid, when you're 22 years old, it's easy. You know, but then life happens.
Because it's just you then.
It's just you. Now you have responsibility. You have kids. You have, you know, he has a wife. So, you know, that's a completely different thing that I don't even know about. I have a kid, but I don't have a wife that's over here telling me, hey, you know, what are we doing here?
Right.
So, you know, it didn't surprise me. And I'm not saying it's just his wife or this, that, but I'm just saying, like, there's other things that you have pulling you from the game. And, you know, I'm just happy for him, and you know, what a career. I'm sad because
I am.
This is an end of an era. You know,
There will never be another 20-year era in which a guy goes to 10 Super Bowls. I mean, it's beyond preposterous. Wins 7 of them. Do you have any retirement advice for him? Would he come to you and ask you? Because you've always been kind of the little brother.
Yeah, no, you know,
Yeah.
he doesn't have any. I don't have any advice. Just stay on a routine. Keep up on the avocado ice cream. You're not going to be running as much.
Did you feel your body change?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, you're not like compounding crazy workouts, but I feel like I don't hurt. So,
Could you come back next year?
I mean, I go out on that pickleball court and I say, man, I still got some quickness. I still got this. But then the next day, my knee's sore. So, you know, it's Could you do it for like maybe a play or two or a game? Yeah, you could. I could definitely go out and catch some balls, but not the way I want to.
You would never have played with Tampa, I don't think. I just remember talking to your dad, who I continue to be friends with and talk to. He'd never play. He's a Patriot. He's a Bill guy. He's a Bill guy. He's not going to go anywhere else. Is that accurate?
I mean, it's pretty accurate. I loved being a Patriot. I loved the organization. I loved, the coaches. I mean, yeah, it's tough and it's hard, and it's not always a fun place because focusing up and doing something and working isn't always fun. There's fun aspects to it, but like in any job, there's always something you don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed it. That's how I was brought up. My father was tough on me like that, and it was very comfortable, and I needed that. So I loved it. I loved the people out in Massachusetts and all of New England. I said something like only about Boston, and someone came on Twitter and was like, "Hey, what about Vermont and Rhode Island and New Hampshire?" I'm like, "Oh, Nikes." But
people are so patient; they didn't even notice. It's unbelievable,
Yeah.
huh? I mean, Boston, New England was in a major uproar last week because Tom specifically thanked Tampa Bay. I don't know if you saw any of this, Buzz. Specifically thanked Tampa Bay and did not thank Boston or the Patriots as he retired, even though he had said all the things that he did in 2020. And people lost their minds.
Yeah.
Lost their flipping minds. It's a very passionate group.
Very passionate group. Very passionate group.
Could you see Tom returning? He did kind of leave the door cracked a smidge. He's not retiring because he can't play.
See, my answer for were you surprised if he retired when he retired? And no, I'm not. And that's the same answer if he comes back. You wouldn't be surprised. I'm not. I don't know how he's going to feel in 6 months when he's sitting there. And the first off season when you're retired it's different. You have a routine, you have a body clock. You're so used to, I did it for 12, he did it for 22. So like, it's gonna have to, it'll hit him in some form or another. But I don't, it wouldn't surprise me if he came back.
It's funny because he operates on having chips on his shoulder, whether it's when he's going to get drafted, how he's going to do at Michigan, beating out Bledsoe, beating back Jimmy, performing at the end of his career here in 18 and 19, going to Tampa. The chip, of course, next would be, nobody thinks I can come back at 45.
Takes a year off. I mean, it'd make for a hell of a documentary that I'm sure he would make.
Oh, he would never do a documentary, would
I
he?
mean, you never know. Has the last episode come out yet? All right,
no, that'll be where he announces taking a year off.
The announcement.
I'm going to let you go. We're taking a bunch of your time.
And in the arena, too. It's pretty good.
Last question, though, is state of the Patriots.
Yeah.
Do you feel high on their direction right now with Mac Jones? You watch enough games. They need to get more. They need you. Dante Scarnecchia said that. So many people, they need a guy for Mac Jones to do the things that you did, Troy did.
Well, Jakobi Meyers can be in that role. He's played very well. He knows how to play that role. I mean, you can see him in the run game. He goes in and digs out safeties like we did. He can get open on third down. He had a very good year. Let's not take that away from him. I am excited for the Patriots and to see what they do in these next, 3 to 6 years with this new generation because of Mac Jones. I think he needs to physically get stronger, and I think he hit a wall during this year. You could see it, and that's rightfully so because what people that have never played in a rookie year, they don't understand is that when you're training for a combine, you're training for your pro day or whatever, you're not training football. You're training for your testing. You're training like, I got to do 20, outside throws here. And then, so the training is completely different. Once he gets into an NFL offseason and hopefully get some gains, he needs to get his arm a little, you know what I mean? His arm could have been pooped and tired by the end of it because they're sitting and showing these guys off all day. So I'm excited with Mac Jones because how he digested the offense and how he was able to, you could see him open up the playbook a little more here and there. And then once again, you get a second year, he's going to be coming into an environment that he's not
Plus, he's missing Josh, though.
He's missing Josh. That's going to be huge. That is going to be huge. But, the Patriots always find a way. Billy O'Brien comes back. Who knows who comes back?
Joe Judge?
I don't know if Joe Judge is calling plays. But, they'll figure something out. I don't ever bet against Bill Belichick. And, I have a lot of faith in how he coaches and in his philosophy and of how to build a team. So, they'll get some more pieces, and it's never easy. But as long as you have a quarterback that you can, like right now, they have a quarterback. That's the biggest part. You run and die by a quarterback in this league. That's how it goes. That's just how it is.
You know what? They need quarterbacks with a little mobility. You redeclare, you come out. You don't have to take the punishment over the middle anymore. You got that shake. You can still throw.
Nah, I can't throw it, Tom. I can't throw it like I used to. I can't.
You know who can? Me. I got a severe. It's unbelievable, the velocity.
There's this 44-year-old who can throw it pretty good too.
I'm on his program. All right. Thank you.
Always.
Really
anytime.
gracious of you to have us over. Thanks.
Get out of here.